Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things in collecting. That's your variety in your collection. For a long time, most of these bodies came the same height, and you would get very little variation in the size of the figure. So you would have quite often a Captain America who was the same size as a Spider-Man, and canonically that wasn't exactly accurate. So I was very happy to see that a lot of these companies were branching out and making a lot of variation. Now, anybody who's watched this channel knows how much I've appreciated the Worldbox figures because they're very impressive. They're outside of the Fison, which has the silicone body on it, which is great if you're going to have exposed body parts, but it's very hard to get clothing and soft goods on and off of those silicone bodies. So I've found that the PVC ones are much more forgiving when you're trying to get them with some kind of clothing on. Now this is this one was released quite a while ago. This is the Worldbox 027. It's really good for like the Superman. I stuck a Henry Cavill head on here. Worldbox, so it's anatomically correct. So if you're going to put it on camera, you got to make sure he's dressed appropriately. Very large figure. It's 13 inches tall with the head, which means he's going to tower. Like we have this guy here, which is the this was the standard. They when Hot Toys came out with the True Type, the basic True Type figure, the 019, I think this is the narrow-bodied one. I just grabbed some various heads that I had laying around to pop these guys on here. He comes out to exactly 12 inches high, you know, with a head sculpt on it. But when you put him in comparison to this guy, yeah, you can really see the difference. If we do a back-to-back here, you can see how it's just not even close. This is really a big push in the difference between your figures here. Okay, so this one here I picked up a couple years ago. Fabulous body. It's very like typical Worldbox. I own probably about like I would say maybe 12 Worldbox bodies of various models and so forth. I've never had a single problem with any of them with the joints loosening up or anything like that. They are advertised as super durable, and they are very heavy. Now, anybody that knows what happens when you get something manufactured, in some of these places, they will make your order and then they'll keep the molds and they'll run off several million copies and they'll sell them for dirt cheap. Now, in this case, is not exactly what happened, but this guy here, again, the Worldbox 027, will retail, I think it was about $90 when it first came out. You can catch them now for about $85, or $85, $90. Some places will have them, some eBay stores will have them more, so buyer beware. But now we have the 23 Toys BD01. I reviewed this guy before, but and one of my viewers, I'll have to check because I forget who told me this, but the neck is just way too fat. I'll have to give you credit for this in the description. But the neck is way too thick. You're definitely going to have to Dremel this down. Another factor is the neck peg itself. The neck peg, it needs to have a fatter ball at the end here, so you'll have to swap that out a little bit. But in order to fit any head on this, you're going to have to thin out this neck a little bit, or try and thin out the base of the head, which the neck will probably be easier. It'll be a lot more workable for you. If you can take a look at this, I'll pop off Henry's head here. Sorry, Anna, didn't mean to do that to you and stress you out. But you can see the differences between the heads here. This is tapered at the top, and this is just kind of like a tree trunk like this. Okay, big differences. You see these now. one of the main things with the Worldbox body is the neck bends forward like this. Let me see if I can get my head out of the way. You can kind of see how that does that. The 23 Toys does not do that. Now, the thighs, the legs, and the arms are an exact copy of the Worldbox figure. The torso is a little bit different, but not much. I think the abdominals are the same. It's basically the chest area and the upper torso that is different. Now, again, this guy, $85, $90. This guy here runs $28 at TNS Toys right now. So if you're looking for a blank body that's large, impressive, and can get the job done, it's a little bit cheaper, considerably cheaper, you might want to check this out. Now, 23 Toys does not come with feet or hands. I swiped these for the demonstration purposes. I believe these are actually Worldbox feet. The hands are standard, the feet are standard. So any shoes you're going to get that, or the plug-in method, the peg method will work on these. But again, also 13 inches tall as well. Now again, you stand him next to the average true type figure, you can see the size difference between them. So you're definitely going to have a much larger figure here if you wanted to, dress out your shelf that way. Okay, the next one we're going to look at, this is a brand new figure. This is the Worldbox 042. This is their new Asian body. Okay, and it's this big here. Okay, this comes at, you put a head on this guy. This is a Charlie Cox head, which is actually too small for a standard body, but it actually works pretty well on this that I planned on painting. This guy runs for about $45. The neck peg adapter is unique to this body. A standard neck will not fit on here. It's going to be too fat. But this works out really well if you're going to be using this for a smaller, thinner character. The articulation, just like every other Worldbox figure, it's really good. The body's tight. It's a little stiff in the arms. You're not going to get, like, say, if you wanted to do this as a Spider-Man figure, you're probably not going to get the range of motion that you would really want. But it's not bad. I mean, you can achieve quite a bit of flexibility with this, in a lot of different positions that you might want. Again, very heavy, very durable, very beefy plastic that it's made out of. Okay, now we're going to compare this to the body that I had reviewed last time, the 23 Toys BD01. Okay, I stuck the Tom Holland head on here. This is 11 inches total. So this, if you're looking at 6 scale, this would be for a character you're looking at. It's going to be about 5'6". It'd be a great option for a youth body. Same with this one, and it would give you some options there. The torso on the Worldbox is a little bit taller, so you can see the shoulders come up a little bit higher. It's not just the neck. You can see that it's a larger figure. This is definitely the better option for the smaller figures. They're not necessarily going to be interchangeable. This one here would probably be really good for a Peter Parker that you're doing, or this one here, like maybe a Tobey Maguire Peter Parker, I should say. This one, the Tom Holland, I think Tom Holland is about 5'6", so this actually works really well for this one. Again, not necessarily that you're going to be using this for the dynamic Spider-Man poses, because he doesn't quite have that kind of, there's no mid-range here. If you look at the Worldbox has some torso flexion here like this. Not so on the 23 Toys body. This is one solid piece. So you're not going to get that level of dynamic movement that you will with the Worldbox. But overall, like this guy here, $22. This is $45. And different purposes, different figures. So I think you'd be very happy with either one for your needs. I picked these up at TNS Toys. If you want to compare this next to your standard true type body, you can see the height difference there. Again, it would be great for a youth body, which, for a long time now, there's been, I think if you wanted a smaller body, you had to try and track down a Dragon and Dreams funny mustache youth guy was the only body that came in a size like this that would give you a smaller stature figure like this. But I'm very, very happy. I've ordered probably about like 6 or 7 of these bodies for figures that I've done as customs, um, for people that were looking for the smaller, more in scale body. Because this way you can put them on the shelf with different characters and different figures, and it will give you that variation. Um, Again, this guy is about 11 inches tall. The Worldbox will put you about 11 and a quarter, maybe a little bit more than that. And the shoulders are a little bit higher, and depends on the head that you put on it as well. But yeah, that's my review of these guys here. The um, the skin and the skin tones on this tend to be a little bit more pink. It's billed as an Asian body. It's more like definitely has more of an Irish complexion that's been out in the sun for a little bit. Um, Less so like now this has more of like a pale Asian skin tone, like a Japanese or so. This is definitely like more European looking. With you can see a lot of the red and whatnot in there. The hip joints are darker plastic, so it's not exactly uniform, but it's a great option if you have a figure that's going to be fully clothed. Yeah, so that's what we're checking out today. If you like these, if you're interested in them, please head on over to TNS Toys. They do have the World Box and the full line of 23 toys bodies in stock. Check them out. If you order multiples, you get them at a cheaper price. I think they knock like $2 off each body with each multiple you buy. So I think it's $20 for if you order 2 or more of the BD01, and it drops down if you to like 19 if you order 3, 18, and so forth like that, to a certain point. And same thing with the larger bodies. But I'm very happy with them, and I'm really glad to see that there's some options there for us to mix up our display shelf a little bit, which is very important, especially now. It's a great time to be a collector, and it's a great time to be a customizer because you can set up your shelf the way you want it. You know, if a company is not putting out the products that you like, make your own, try it out yourself, see what you can come up with. There's certainly so many options that you can get online now. You can pick up so many accessories, so many variations in clothing, boots, weapons, for all these different characters that you can put on there. And I think you'll be very happy with the results you get by making your own shelf and customizing in the way that you might want it. But anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Please click the like, subscribe, and share if you haven't done so yet. And let people know that uh, collecting is great fun, and it's a great hobby to get into right now. It's more affordable than ever, and you have a greater variety to choose from. Thanks for watching.